All right, can you hang on for just a second?
Okay, very good.
All right, special guest, Congressman Ron Paul, a former Republican presidential candidate. And, Congressman, I want to tell you that during the debates, I really enjoyed your comments.
Well, thank you.
However, you just, I said to myself, well, he doesn't have a chance. Mm-hmm. And you seem to be sort of way out there, and you kind of scared people.
Well, what scares me is the fact that I, who take a very conventional, conservative, constitutional viewpoint, seem to be way out there. I keep thinking the people in charge of our government are way out there. They believe if you need money, you print it. If you spend endlessly, deficits don't matter. If you think you can be the policeman of the world, you do it. And that, to me, seems to be way out there. So it's, I guess, all the way you look at it. And for a long time, I think I felt much lonelier in this past year. I don't feel so lonely anymore because we have gotten large crowds. And I'm still doing a bit, although the campaign is technically over. I'm still going into states where they are having elections like Pennsylvania and we'll get good crowds out. So, I feel good that a lot of other people are starting to feel like the government's way out there. I've always had people, when I run for Congress down there, and they say, well, Ron Paul, we can't keep him there because he doesn't fit in Washington. So that's what my opponents would say, so I would use that as my campaign.
Of the three candidates that are still in the race, which one matches up most closely with the Ron Paul philosophy?
Well, I can't find one because I think all three, in essence, are exactly the same. They believe in intervention overseas, meddling in the internal affairs of other nations. They don't care about monetary policy. They think the Federal Reserve is wonderful. They haven't challenged the tax code. They don't want to get rid of the income tax. I don't see any difference. It's only tone. Everybody wants change, and they want to take care of things. So they all fit into the mold of the neoconservatives who believe in endless entitlements and our responsibility to tell the world how to live.
Congressman, is there any chance that you might run as a third-party candidate, given the fact that you are still active and that you're still drawing a lot of attention, and clearly you have a different message than the other candidates?
Well, a lot of people ask me that, and the fact that I'm still out on the road, invites that consideration. But no, that is not my plan. I don't want to do that. It's so difficult. The Republican convention is not until September. Unfortunately, our system is not very democratic. And some people are complaining about the way our elections are run. It's very hard for competition. In New York, it's nice because you could run on two-party labels, and I think that is very, very good. But for the most part, everybody, if you're in a third party, unless you're Ross Perot, you don't get into the debates. I was marginalized even as a Republican. So in a third party, you really get marginalized. So I think I'm just going to continue to spread a message which I think is so important that young people are responding to.
Well, in terms of what you're talking about in your manifesto, now this is coming out shortly. Right. Can you give me a quick synopsis of what you're calling for?
Well, it is the restoration of the rule of law, that you don't do anything that is not authorized. If we don't like what the Constitution says, we should change it. If you want to go to war without a declaration, you should change it rather than just saying, oh, if the president wants to do it, we'll let him do it. Or if you want the federal government to totally control education, you just allow them to do it. There was a time when our country didn't think we should drink alcohol, so they had respect for the Constitution where they said that we will amend the Constitution. Today, if somebody wants to smoke a marijuana cigarette, the federal government will put you in prison. So it's our attitude that the federal government is like a dictator and individuals and states have no rights whatsoever. That is the whole theme of it, whether it's foreign policy or domestic policy, personal liberty, privacy. The whole works is we have to have rule of law. We had not a perfect document, but probably the best ever in our history, and we ought to consider it. Otherwise, we're going to lose everything in this country because personal liberty and economic liberty is going down the tubes and prosperity is going down, and that's why the people are so concerned.
Quick last question. Do you want us out of Iraq immediately?
I think so. We went in immediately, for no authentic reasons, and every day we're there, it gets worse. And this charade about the surge working, that was a complete distortion of the facts. The facts are that things are much, much worse there, and we're just beginning to see the surge in violence, which is going to get much worse in the next year.
All right, Congressman Ron Paul, thank you for your time this morning. Nice to talk to you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.